Alrighty, y'all. So it's your boy Zxous, and today I want to have more of like a little just conversation video. I want you guys to give me your opinions in the comments and stuff like that. I don't know what anybody's mindset is on what we're going to be talking about. I don't know if people are going to agree or disagree, because I know Nikke has had like a lot of, I guess, issues recently, game wise. But I wanted to just talk about the state of Nikke currently, and like I really didn't think much about it until last night. But we're about to be at the 3rd anniversary, right? Like obviously I knew that was coming up, but it really hit me last night before I was going to sleep that we're about to be at the 3rd anniversary, right? 3 full years of Nikke is about to have happened, and it's just so surreal for me, because when I first started playing Nikke, I didn't even think this game would make it to a year. Realistically, right? I just thought, okay, like it's just gonna be one of those other games where they just kind of like have these girls and sexualize them, and that's it. They're not gonna be, it's not gonna be a fun game. It's just gonna keep being, because the whole thing I seen of Nikke when I first started playing, and I'm gonna be honest, especially since you guys, you know, if I'm a gooner, I'm a gooner. Like it is what it is. But like when I started playing Nikke, all I was seeing about the game is that like when you shoot with the characters, their booty jiggles and stuff like that, right? And obviously you guys already know I only started playing this game with my friend Amazing because we were reviewing gacha games at the time, right? But long story short, I think like Nikke has really evolved into one of the best gacha games. If we're just going on like in terms of the aspect of what a gacha game should provide in terms of gacha system, content, in terms of developer communication. For me personally, developer communication is the most important part. I feel like that's why Genshin Impact is such a trash game, right? Now don't get me wrong, Genshin Impact makes a lot more money than Nikke, 100%, but I think Genshin Impact, the people who are still playing Genshin Impact are at that point where it's like if they were to quit, they would have just wasted like 4 years of their life, like genuinely. And I know you can say that about any gacha game, but it's gonna hit harder for Genshin players because that game hasn't really gotten much, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Nikke, I feel like the way Nikke goes about their content, the way Nikke goes about their updates, the way Nikke goes about their characters is a very good way. And I feel like a lot of other gacha games should probably follow the way Nikke does their things. Now, obviously this year we've had a lot of hectic stuff with the amount of characters we've been getting. We have been getting non-stop 2 characters at a time. I think the only time we got 1 character was when Trina came out, when Mana came out, and then also when Arcana came out, right? I don't remember if anybody else came out and they were a solo character, but like, I mean, technically Brady and Crush, but they were kind of like back to back and they're meant for each other, right? So I would say those 2, but they were meant for each other. Maid and Anchor and Mask came out together. Like there was a lot of double banners, right? And obviously some of these banners we had this year were triple banners, right? We had 5 banners at a time with the Evangelion collab. We had 3 banners at a time with the what's it called? Emma, Vesti, and Yunwa. We had 3 banners with Sora and the 2B and A2 rerun, you know what I'm saying? So we've had a lot of multiple banners this year, and a lot of these banners were either reruns for characters that a lot of players didn't have because they kind of had to be playing back in the day, or it was just completely new like characters that a lot of players kind of had to summon for. Like for example, Dorothy. This Dorothy right here was like a must summon, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's the only bad thing about Nikke in the sense of how they've been moving, is the simple fact that they've been having a lot of banners, right? And I understand like you're not supposed to summon for every and every single character that drops, but at the end of the day, players want to have, you know, especially the good characters, and a lot of the characters especially that came out this year are very good. I think this year is probably going to be the year out of like 2022, 2023, 2024. I think 2025 is going to be the year where the best of the best characters came out of it. Like 2024 had very powerful characters, don't get me wrong, right? But I feel like it was more obviously like the pilgrims and stuff like that. The limiteds weren't as crazy. This year, every character realistically was like good. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Arcana's a really big saver for Isabel. Trina's a really big saver for Scarlet. The only character that came out this year that was really bad, and I guess this was another solo banner, Kay, I would say like she's not really bad, but like Kay is not the best. And then Sora. Those are the only 2 that come to mind that was bad, but everybody else that came out this year was very good, right? Or at least they had some type of usefulness that like was very beneficial, whether it was to your team or to another solo character or whatever, right? But I think like NIKKE has just been doing a great job. I know they've had issues a lot as well with like solo raid and stuff like that. Like we just got compensation actually for solo raid and stuff like that. Like it's like almost every solo raid we've had for like the last few months have had some type of issue. I don't complain about that because I see it as free rewards. They keep breaking solo raid. Like just keep doing that, in my opinion. If you let them drop solo raid and then they just keep being like there's an issue, we get compensation and then they just reopen solar raid and we can just keep reforming the same materials or whatever. I don't know. I think it's a great idea, but obviously I know NIKKE's intentions are not that drop a broken solar raid. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate, it just keeps happening. But free rewards is free rewards. Go ahead and get you some, right? Oh my god, I got none of these. I used all okay, so they all went to my big. I got unlucky, basically. Yeah, I got unlucky. But yeah, I feel like obviously if we're talking about the 3rd anniversary, if you're wondering when the 3rd anniversary is going to be, it's going to be at the end of October, right? That final week of October is when we have the anniversary, right? Yes, the anniversary for NIKKE is technically November 4th, but we've never had an anniversary. Even when it comes to half anniversary, they always happen a week or two before the actual anniversary date, because then when the event is going on, by the time the actual anniversary date comes, then we get a free multi for us reaching the actual anniversary date, which in our case is November 4th. Obviously in their case it's not going to be November 4th. Like the anniversary doesn't start November 4th, right? I do think this year 100% the anniversary is going to have 2 characters again, because they've done that for not only the last half anniversary, but they've also done that for, I guess, technically New Year's always gets 2 characters, which is a rerun and then new character, and then obviously the anniversary before with Cinderella and Grave, right? So I think we're gonna get 2 pilgrims. I don't know if we're gonna get an overspec NIKKE. I'm not sure, but I'm thinking it's gonna be either one of the following: Behemoth and Leviathan, or Nayuta and Pinocchio, right? The only other way I see it being anybody else is if it's Liberalia and then somebody else, but it's probably going to be Behemoth and Leviathan, because we've barely been getting like these heretics realistically, or it's going to be Nayuta and Pinocchio, right? And then we're gonna get a free SSR, which I mean at this point just give us Chime, because we're at a point where Chime is not gonna get anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't see Chime being relevant whatsoever for a long time in the sense of like us getting her. But I'm just really proud of NIKKE, right? I know we've had a lot of drama with skins, and you know obviously NIKKE has not said anything about the skin, but I don't know if anybody really expected NIKKE to. Like people have complained about gacha costume skins for a long time and NIKKE has never done anything about them. Not to mention they've already promoted it and put it out for sale. There's physically nothing NIKKE can do about that. I mean, that's just the truth. I mean, they could actually technically add like a free version of it that people want, but like NIKKE is not going to give the community, you know, what they want for that gacha costume skin. I'm not going to say anything else before I get lynched, but I think honestly, besides like the little minor issues that I want to say, like when it comes to the game, NIKKE doesn't have really that many issues. I feel like more of the issues we've had are just like kind of like, you know, the community is being upset about something. I feel like NIKKE is like in a good spot for gacha gaming. I feel like when it comes to all these other gacha games, I'm not saying NIKKE is the best of the best, but I feel like NIKKE is in their own lane and they're just staying in their own lane. Like we have a collab coming up. I don't know when the Resident Evil collab is coming out. I think it's probably going to come out in February. My assumption is they're going to drop that collab with the game, because if you guys watch that like little game show, whatever, when they promoted it, they kind of were talking about like the new Resident Evil game that's coming out, and then after that they followed saying like, oh well, Resident Evil fan, there's a lot more, don't leave yet, because they're also having a collab with NIKKE. So I assume we're going to get that collab with the game. If not, then we're going to get it next month, because I don't see us getting a collab after the anniversary, and then after that we go into winter, and then after that we go into New Year's. That's a lot of must summon characters, right? They make these winter characters very powerful. They've always made these winter characters ever since Lamilla, ever since Summer and Niece came out, every character that's limited that has dropped is useful in some type of way. Realistically, ever since Summer and Niece has dropped, she dropped 2 years ago now, right? So every limited character that dropped after Summer Niece was very good in some way, shape, or form. Whether it was a collab character, whether it was a limited character, they're always pretty decent, right? Mika's probably the worst one we've gotten in a while. But she came out like, I think Mika came out that winter after Summer Niece. But anyways, my whole point is, what do you guys think? Do you guys think NIKKE is in a good spot? Do you guys think NIKKE is on the right track? What would you guys say NIKKE needs to really improve on, if they do have anything that they need to improve on? right? Because I feel like communication with Nikke after 3 years is phenomenal, if not better, right? Obviously, besides this, you know, gotcha costume skin issue, because they're not talking about that, obviously. But I feel like in general, the communication with Nikke has been a lot better, especially 3 years in. I feel like in terms of update and content, like us getting permanent content, permanent updates and stuff like that, I feel like we get a new permanent content every, like, there's a decent gap between when we get permanent content. Like, we're not going to see another new permanent content probably until next year, because we just got Solar Raid Museum, which I guess a lot of people are enjoying and stuff like that as well. People are just not enjoying like the rewards thing. Like, I can't beat one of them, or I mean, I haven't tried it, but I think it's like ultra. I gotta get 12 billion. I could probably beat that, to be honest. But you guys let me know what you think. Do you guys think Nikke is in a great spot? What we guys want to change from Nikke? And just give me your whole thoughts in the comments. I'm gonna be reading. Give me your entire thoughts about where you think Nikke is at after like almost 3 years, right? It's your boys Zxous. I'm out. Peace.